All right, everyone. Welcome to Wednesday. I know y'all been clicking off the calendar just waiting for this 8 o'clock. What are the three of us up to? I know you've been wondering that.
I have.
Hello and good night.
I would like to tell you that we've changed and this is a better version of us, but the only way that we changed and we're better is Steve has a cat.
The only
No,
way
it's not
it
anything new.
changes is if you block me and don't let me in.
A lot of people have called for that, John, but we
I
haven't
don't
done it
really
yet.
give a shit what they call for. Oops, there you go. You're not monetized anymore. I
Was
didn't
that
even
more than
have
eight?
30
Was that more than
seconds.
8 seconds?
Did we make it through the first 30 seconds anyway?
Might
You're
have.
44, so we're all right. You're good.
That is one thing. So in some of the YouTube stuff that has been, uh, they're changing some of the. They're going to make all cuss words. There's not going to be the F bomb is not going to be it. In other words, are going to be equal. They're just going to the frequency is doesn't matter what. There's some of that is changing because of advertisers.
Well, what I've heard is a lot of it's economical because the economy is, not great now. And advertisers want to stretch every dollar and they don't want to be advertising on channels that will lose them money. So the
Correct or not?
gamers, boy, the gamers got a lot of them shut down already. Monetization shut down on. There's
Yeah,
a
and it's very interesting. So what I was reading in some of the videos I've watched, not only have they changed. See, this is one
Morning,
that
Ron.
thank goodness that they're not allowed to do this with laws and stuff. But they not only did they change the standards, they applied it retroactively and went back and kicked. And so videos that were making lots of money or were eligible were all of a sudden a lot of channels. I didn't have any. This show I deleted a lot of them in the past anyway. So just the ones, especially the ones that because they had a bad habit of going back and looking and catching any kind of political that they deemed, which I don't know if you've noticed or not, but that kind of stuff is kind of it's not a coincidence that the FBI got caught with their hand in the cookie jar, and now all of a sudden these platforms are kind of stepping back a little bit and taking their foot off the gas about what you can and can't say. So even though I'm not willing to go there anymore, just
Not worth it.
unless it affects the government. And I truly best thing I could do for my time was get rid of Telegram. Man, that was man, I spent a lot of time reading Telegram and just being angry about politics for something that you can't control.
What is Telegram? Is that like a social media platform?
Yes, it's like messaging for Twitter. Basically, you have your account and you can post to it. It's
I've just never used it. I was looking at a chart of all the messenger functions out there, and it's almost on the top. It's above Facebook now.
so the problem with Telegram is you can get a lot of information, but if you're only going to get it from the people you follow, so it's not like there's not an algorithm like Twitter. Twitter's algorithm feeds you, and before Elon took it, they would feed you what they thought or what they wanted you to see. They could control the narrative. So Telegram, if you're not subscribed to a channel, you don't see it. And so it makes it where that's good, but it's also bad because you only hear one side. You only hear the side and you only hear the information you want to hear versus
No,
you
it's
don't
like
hear you don't hear both sides. You don't hear two sides to an argument. You get engulfed and with the what it makes it worse because you hear more of what you want to hear.
gives you tunnel vision though.
Yeah.
And that's
So I hope everyone's had a good week. The cat is so comfortable. Yeah. I've already been up for a couple hours. At 5:45. The midget woke up and starts walking on top of me. I'm like, "You're lucky you're so cute, little one, because I would be ready to choke you right now." Because
luckily she leaves me alone in bed. So
then he wakes up the other two dogs, and yeah, then we have to go feed them breakfast. So, but it's
our cats now we are well they'll come up. They like her way more than they like me. This one for some reason has become attached to me, but her son she used to be attached to her son, and when he moved out, then she started. Although she's my cat, I've had her for geez 9 years now, 10 years.
So I did some reading and research on bearderpicker.com. I've been trying to write a blog or two a week, and this one was on really been thinking about change and how change truly affects and the positive negative aspects. So if you're curious about that, you can check that out on the blog. I posted it on Facebook too. It's we're in a scary time right now, and that's why, and not scary bad, but just change is happening at a rapid pace. If you look at the state of, Chat GPT has really brought AI to the forefront, and so I figured we would talk some about that. So I listened to a podcast, Scan to Freedom. Jacob sent me a message, hey, listen to this podcast. And AM PM, I was already subscribed to them. That's Kenny King. He lives here in Huntsville. Before Kenny, it was Tim Jordan. I forget who was before that. Tim's also here in Huntsville. I think he's on his way to Mexico right now, so he's not actually in town. That dude, keeping up with his schedule and where he is in the world, yeah, that's a good one. But I challenge you, if you're a person that listens to the podcast or has any interest in and what technology is going to do to this business, Kenny King's last one, who was on it? I don't know what the guy's name was. I caught it, but give me one
Mark
second.
Something, I think you said.
The guy's name was Anthony Lee. His history behind him was a lot of SEO, a lot of writing of
I think Timothy Hunter might be a Timothy Thunder. Used to be gone.
But it's just talking about how Chat GPT, Midjourney, and AI are going to dramatically impact Amazon and e-commerce.
Tommy Thunder.
And a lot of the first one is just kind of personal history, the first part of it, but the last half of that podcast where they get into talking about how AI is going to get built out. It's a so who is this Tommy Thunder, and why are you spamming my channel?
Tommy, we don't. If you're a real person, he said not a troll. I haven't seen you before.
A troll can also say they're not a troll, by the way.
Yeah, we don't appreciate you coming in and asking.
That. Yeah, Biden says he's president.
If you want to advertise on the channel, I'm sure Scott would allow you to send him a PM prior.
Can I do a link to the podcast? Sure. So I get it on. Most of your phones have a podcast function. Rescue and Resell. If you've got an Android phone, Google Podcast is there. All you have to do is in the search function, search for how about we just do that? We do a search function so that and then put in AMPM podcast. It shows right up. It's a big podcast. Apple phones are the same thing. I'll show you what it looks like on.
While he's doing that, coming in here, the first time we ever see you and making a post like that is probably not going to get you any love.
Yeah. Peace out, buddy. You might not be a troll, but peace out. You see, you're the exact opposite there, Mr. Thunder. I ask for permission. I don't beg for forgiveness, and I don't appreciate people who do it the other way. You don't. So
we have Laura and my wife both saying that having trouble getting into Chat GPT. It's always a capacity. I think if you signed up a while back, you have no issues. I have no issues.
I mean, it comes up and says it's busy, but lets me in.
Yeah, same here.
And
I'm on it. I'm on it daily. I'm messing with it, doing something.
So a lot of people are saying, and they're wrongly so saying, "Oh, this is gonna take over. This is gonna be the death of Google." If you honestly think that the largest data company in the world, the one that controls so much data and the flow of information like Google, has not been working on their own version of this, you are sadly mistaken. You are grossly underestimating So from what I've read, their version will be out at some point in the near future. This probably by summer. And the big thing about Chat GPT is it's on the internet, but it's not connected to the internet. So basically, it's working in its data subset. So it's up to like 2021. So if you ask it a question about 2022, it doesn't have that data, and it doesn't have the ability to go get it right now because that'd be amazingly expensive. What's it, 2 to 3 cents per query is what it's costing the company right now. Um, the data set that Google is working on is 4 times as large. When it comes out, um, it will immediately dwarf.
Well,
So
ChatGPT uses GPT-3, and GPT-3 is pretty big. However,
four,
GPT-4 is coming out here, should be soon, is probably around the same size as Google, so they'll be competitive. Microsoft just bought ChatGPT for $10 billion. OpenAI, which is the parent company, $10 billion. If that doesn't tell you there's something going on with it, you know.
but it's
And they're going to integrate it into everything. It'll be integrated into your Excel, your Microsoft Word. It'll be integrated into all their web applications, everything.
so you've truly got to understand. So Jacobs, it's episode 324. It's the last one. So you gotta look at it too. I started looking at it. I'm like, so how is it going to affect the seller, the buyer, and the platform? You got 3 ways it's going to affect it, and it's very interesting. The way they were talking about especially for the buyer. The buyer is going to be the easiest, the most seamless because it's the one. Right now, you talk to chat. If you got a problem, you can go in the chat and talk in chat. That function is going to be quickly replaced by chat's going to be a straight computer that's talking to you. It's going to be an AI. It's going to push. You're going to call for customer service. That's who you're talking. You're going to be talking to a computer. It's going to be able to handle most of your queries. They were talking about the example on the podcast is a beach trip. So right now, if you're going to the beach and you're not a beach person, you're thinking about stuff you want to look at on Amazon, stuff you want to buy. Maybe you will look at some beach towels. Maybe an umbrella, maybe a cooler. Just you can think of random things that you would want to buy to take with you to the beach. If I buy it at home and take it with me, if I'm driving, it's much cheaper than to buy it at the beach, right? Or you can even buy it and have it delivered down there to a box or whatever, to an Amazon locker. The point. So here's the way it's going to change. The problem is right now, and the struggle that people are having with Chat GPT is it's a different way to search. You're not, if you want to know about beach umbrellas, you search under Google beach umbrellas, and it's going to show you beach umbrellas. But you're not asking it questions. So you go on the Amazon search and say, so I'm going on a beach trip. What do I need? And that AI is going to be able to make you a list of everything that it thinks you need to take with you on a beach trip. Chat GPT will already do this. So Chat GPT, this function that it'll do is you ask it, give me some, I'm on a keto friendly diet. Could you come up with a menu for this week? And it will kick out breakfast, lunch, and dinner keto friendly for 7 days. And then you go, well, Beard, that's pretty interesting. The next question you ask it is, can you make me a shopping list for this? And not only will it create your menu, it'll create the list of everything you need to buy to make the list, and it'll give you the recipe it'll give you the ingredients to buy, it'll give you the recipes, and it'll make it for your week. And it'll tell you all the data, the things you ask it are going to be different. You're not going to go on Google and go, how many carbs are in this? It's going to fundamentally change the way you interact with a computer.
It has a memory, so if you change your menu,
correct,
and you tell it, hey, I can you knock out the tomatoes for forever? It'll knock out the tomatoes until you tell it different. It's a little crazy.
But it's
I bet you it'll be something like you'll be able to talk to it through like an Alexa type device or something eventually, and you won't even have to type it in. It'll be all smooth. And
so you go to Google right now, tell Google to write you an Amazon listing. It's gonna just be totally lost. But if you go on Chat GPT and some of these AI in the very near future, and tell it what the product is and tell it to make you a description, bullet points. Make sure to include this, this, and this. Make it at a 5th grade level, because you can make it. It'll change the way it dictates it to you based on what you tell. So tell it you want, like I'm talking to a 16-year-old, like I'm talking to a 5th grade. You can tell it in a conversational form where it doesn't sound as AI-ish. You will have the ability to control the output based on what you, and if you don't like what it is, at the bottom of every one of them, it says revision. There's a button that says revise this, and it'll change the way it wrote it and give it back to you again until you can make it continue to. It's
at this point, if you're using it for that, and I suggest you at least try it to see how it works. Make sure that you're rereading and quad reading that thing to make sure the facts are correct. Once you've done that, it spits. I've used it for eBay descriptions. It spits out some pretty good descriptions.
So sellers also, all the repricers and pricing, they're all touting, AI repricing. I don't know if you've known it or not, but they're right now, most of them do machine learning. I don't think it's as much AI as, it's just basically more complex computer programs, but the real-time repricing data is going to get much more specific, a little more thought behind it than, because right now, one of my biggest problems with a repricer, especially if you're using the same repricer with the same strategy, like me and Dave both use Aura. If we're on the same listing, we've got the same program beating us up. You know what I mean? Competing for the same, using the same computer program, same strategies to get the buy box. And in the future, it will know these things. It will know that it's competing against itself. Making listings better. It will. I can see in the future. Jacob and I were talking about this, where there's a company out there that will build a set of listings that will input the data of so many listings that are all great listings. So, right now we see the data for the top 100 in the category. It will be able to compare what is so special about these top 100, what makes these listings great, and what makes these listings great, and it will be able to write your listing very similar to the ones that are the top performing. I mean, it'll be able to do these things.
You can use it now to write if you know anything about programming, which I don't, but you could write a program to scrape Amazon with ChatGPT and just those listings that you want to compare to, and it'll scrape the data for you and give it all to eat. It's crazy. Yeah, there's a lot of cool things it can do.
Ron, it's called ChatGPT. If you just Google it, it'll show up. It might tell you that it's too busy right now, or it might tell you that they're, to give them your name, and they'll let you know. It's usually within a day or two. They'll send it back to you. I'm already the cheapest one on eBay, buddy, and it's at only $9.99, and you want to hit me for $8?
I had one like that the other day. It was a really cheap thing, and the guy wanted it for like $5. I'm like, yeah, go pound sand. Like by the way, is any of our listeners a web can build me a website that calls on an API? I need to know that. So if anybody is, message me on Facebook or whatever, and we'll talk. Go ahead, John. Sorry.
I always thank them when they send me an offer like that for reminding me to raise my price on that item, and I go in and raise the price on the item.
I've done that. Not on a low ball offer, but I've done it when somebody messaged me about something sometimes. Okay. And I realized, hey, why was I selling this so cheap?
Understand I haven't said anything this morning because I totally disagree about this AI nonsense. I don't think it's going to be as big as what everybody thinks it's going to be, as fast as it's going to happen. It's not going to happen that fast. This is a flying car, and it's not going to change this stuff overnight. Will it change? Yes. But right now it is too much machine learning and not enough human input into the outcome of what it puts out. Eventually it will get to that point, but it's not 2023.
I'm telling you, I'm talking the next 5 years. If you look at, look at, but you said the one thing you said in there is the key to all this learning. Right now, Chat GPT is getting better and better by the minute because of all the data and all the queries and all the information it is gathering from users.
Yes.
And it is so the one thing, start Googling Chat GPT and AI on and the one thing I challenge us, most of the people who are watching the show have a different mindset, an entrepreneurial mindset. The first thing, Steve and I were talking before the show, even before you got here, Grumpy, that this is a tremendous opportunity. The same way the World Wide Web came in and swept over, it's going to make millionaires on top of millionaires. It's how can you get a slice of the, there's plenty of videos out there about how to make videos with it, how to write script, but all that stuff's out there. It's easy. Some of it you got to feed through it, because some of the stuff that I've watched, you look at it and go, yeah, like one of them was trying to build the guy, I think Steve and I watched the same video where the guy is, starts with a generic light stand.
He was that Asian dude, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, then it was the same one.
He makes some video, generic video, has it build a script about, why the pros and cons of using a light stand, and then put some generic video behind it and put the words on the screen and says, for the best light stand, it's in the description, bro. Click the link. I don't know that, because he's not a seller, I don't know that that's the most effective way. They're still going to be.
He's an affiliate marketer, and they're going to look at it whole different. It's going to change affiliate marketing too eventually.
Yes.
It's going to change everything eventually.
It's going to change a lot of things. The problem is it's new. It's like an NFT. It's like Bitcoin. It's like all those things. What people don't understand is it's also like Amazon. How long did Amazon take to actually take off to what it is?
Right.
Everybody looks at my business and says, oh, you got lucky. They don't see the 15 years before, where I went through all the learning process and all the mistakes and all that to get to where I am. And do I think AI is going to take 15 years? No, because it is it is machine learning as it goes.
But they've also been making a lot of mistakes and stuff even before they put it public. That's the one thing, a lot of that grunt work's been done already. So,
and it's not perfect. I've broke Chat GPT a few times. It'll start repeating itself or just not giving you the correct answers. It's all about, it's a great model. I have a practice YouTube channel that I've been using it just for AI content to see if it'll work. Totally built by AI stuff, except for I edit the videos myself. And it can write the script. I have an AI voice that is, Scott's heard it. It's not too bad. It's pretty good. You wouldn't know it was AI unless I told you. So those sorts of things are coming. You just have, but it has limitations. The scripts aren't that great, in my opinion. Even if I change them, I still don't have a great opinion of the script. And maybe it's because I know it's written by AI. Maybe if somebody listened to it and didn't know that, it would be different. I don't know.
Yeah, Laura, I've got to play it.
I also believe that humans need to have input. When you remove a human from the sale of a product, you have issues. You run into issues because there's things that computers will never understand that you need a human for. I'll take on AI selling right now, any day of the week.
Right now, I would, for sure.
Any day of the week. You build the listing with AI, and I'll build it manually, and I'll sell you 10 times to 1. Because scraping data from 20 listings to figure out why they're the top 20, you can't figure it out with AI.
See, but that's the problem, John. Is we look at this very limited. You know, I just said the top 100 because that was the easiest one for people to envision. And it is not going to scrape the top 100 because at the same time it can scrape 100. It can scrape them all.
Right. No. I fully agree that in time AI will be, something to reckon with, and so it's nothing more than a tool. It's not taking over the world. AI will not take over the world. This ain't the freaking beginning of Matrix.
Well, that's what I put on the thumbnail.
Well, you screwed up.
It's very clickbaity. I like that. I wondered though. Usually you have a picture of me and you. I saw your picture. Am I the caveman?
Yeah, but I mean,
damn it! If I'd have thought about putting your face on the caveman, I would have.
Oh, it would have been epic.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Just like, and I'm going to give you an example. PPC, Amazon's advertising. How many programs are out there saying that they do AI, that I'm a guru at it, I do this, I do that. And in all honesty, the best thing to do is go in there and run automatic campaigns with negative keywords and let Amazon use their algorithms and their scientists, and you can beat any AI PPC platform out there.
What I think with this AI is that if you have any knowledge on how to do anything to use this AI to your advantage right now, it's the ground floor thing. You're going to make some money if you can figure it out, how to use it to your benefit.
I mean, we're
going to make a lot of money.
People aren't going to
not reselling. Not reselling. I'm talking over the big picture.
Absolutely.
This is going to make some millionaires and billionaires.
It ain't millionaires anymore. There's going to be billionaires that come out of this.
I just want a little piece.
And so I did take the guy's offer of $8 because he wanted to buy 7 packs.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's different.
I don't know if he thought. I don't know if he
people
thought.
Often wonder why
I've got cases.
People often wonder why you sell things so low. You had 7 of them or more, and if somebody wants, and if it's an item that people are going to buy multiples, like my Olympic pins, they're $4 plus shipping.
Pat D
but people tend to buy 10 or 15 of them at a time.
Pat D says next week's show, Grumpy goes happy, enjoying his reseller retirement. I actually am enjoying my retirement. I know. A lot of people think I was working, but there was extenuating circumstances to why it carried over into January and the meetings didn't happen in December. One of the main people that were involved in the meetings, his sister had 3.
He also said that.
Yeah, well, he lied.
Disney's going to be
one of the main people involved. His sister had 3 open heart surgeries lasting 10 hours apiece at Christmas time. So it was something that was unforeseen that pushed it into January. I have not worked other than looking at my numbers and telling people, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
So Roman has a point for me, and I want to look at this real quick. He says he was at a new Amazon bin store last week, and the manager told him they're going to open 50 of those stores in the state of Ohio.
Yes.
Talk to him and tell him to get one on this side of Ohio for me, over in Conneaut or Ashtabula, please.
The one thing about this show, I try to, it's hard to find topics, and so as this one has been so prevalent, I wanted to show at least to start at least 30 minutes of it. We could just to let people know and just to talk about and get people thinking. I'm not the perfect one to explain all this, but I can tell you that it's something that you need to be reading. It's going to change. You need to figure out where it's going and how do you think it's going to affect. Because if you're not making goals, the one thing I know about change is there's 2 ways to be about change. You can understand and figure out how it works for you and be the early adopters and to figure out how this thing works and understand how it affects where you are now and where you can go and other opportunities. You can be that person, or you can be the other person who sticks their head in the sand and hopes like hell that doesn't hit him in the fucking ass on the way by.
You can watch it happen or make it happen.
Now,
but let's look. We love to talk about reselling. when I was a young pup growing up in the 70s, I could not imagine a world without Kmart. We're talking about, one of the largest retailers. They were dominant.
Sears,
they were great.
Sears and
look at
Roebuck
Sears,
Queens.
And Sears, look at Sears. My childhood, we picked out Christmas stuff. We had the catalogs. We did all that craziness.
Hell no, we looked through the freaking bras and panties, dude. Be honest.
We did that too, but
I read the greeting cards and magazines.
Look at the stores and look as things have changed, and as even so they got passed on, and then look at the 90s and 2000s, how things have come on. Look at your mom and pop stores that struggle so mightily against the Walmarts, against the Amazons. I'm telling you, this is another one of those inflection points right now. As you're at one of those points in time where it's going to change. And which side are you going to be? Are you going to figure this out? The flag is upside down because the country's in distress. I'll turn it right side back up when
it's not a sign of not being a patriot or anything. It's just a sign of the nation being in distress, in his opinion.
I want to point something out. In 1984, I graduated high school.
And it says it right across there, a nation in distress.
Yeah, it's hard to read, though.
Yeah. If I was better at that kind of stuff.
I was 1984, I graduated high school. AOL was on 3.5. Actually, originally it was on 5.25 floppy disk.
If you have some of those, by the way, they sell really well on eBay.
And you would install it and connect through a phone. And at the time, I said to my parents, I would make $1 million from that sound. The connection of the computer to the internet. I said, I will make $1 million in the future with that sound. And I've done it. I am proud of what I've done. I've done it. This AI is at the same point in time. When I said that, my parents laughed. And my mother connects on the phone and she still does some things, but she's old-fashioned to what I think. I'm at a point in time in my life where AI is just like the sound of that AOL connecting. Leave it for the kids. You have to make a decision. Are you going to be part of the change, or are you going to let that technology run you over? I'm at the end of my career. I'm willing to let the AI run me over. It's not going to run me over.
So Van Cleef, the wonderful thing about this country is we can have two different opinions on what we think is respectful and disrespectful. I'm telling you right now, in the last couple of years, it's been very disrespectful for the government of this country to take my rights and tell me they thought I had to have a shot. They told businesses they can't open. They can't. They took in violation of the Constitution of the United States of America.
No, wave the white flag and just kick his ass out the room. Don't get all worked up. Don't get all worked up.
I'm not getting worked up. I'm just proving a point. Unless you have your head in the sand again and don't understand this nation is at one of them points.
The other good thing about listening to a podcast on YouTube is there's a little red X up in the corner, and if you don't like what you see, then you can just click it right off. Now, we're happy to have you here as long as your Discord is.
You have to understand that you have to take this. This isn't AI is not going to be 2023. I was watching a thing with Charles Barkley yesterday on YouTube.
Oh no, we're babies in this right now.
I was watching a thing with Charles Barkley yesterday, and he was talking about he went to white schools and said, how many people want to play pro sports? And he said less than 10% of the kids raise their hand.
I've seen this. This is very interesting.
He said, then he goes to a black school, and over 90% raise their hand that they want to play professional athletics.
Because he asked them what was their dream, and a lot of the white school will say they want to be doctors, they want to be this, they want to be that.
The point of it is he said only 4% will ever make it to the NBA.
It's not even that much. It's way less than that.
Well, now it is, but I mean, when this video was made, this old video, if you look at Charles Barkley, he has no wrinkles. It's right after his career, 4%. So this AI thing right now in 2023, you have to be in already on the ground floor if you think you're going to make millions with it. It's not going to happen. What's going to happen is you're going to learn it. You're going to know it inside and out. You're going to be able to leverage it for an income, but you're not going to make millions. But as you do that over time, you will become an expert at it and be able to leverage it into bigger things. You have to be in the programming end to make money right now.
It's a way you've got to look at things. Harlan made a comment up there. Once Walmart got so big, everybody goes, man, there's nobody ever going to be able to do anything to Walmart. And Steve Jobs was in his damn garage selling books going, yeah, you wait. You've not Steve Jobs, I'm sorry, but what's his name?
Old Jeff.
Bezos. Bezos was in his garage going, hey, well, Microsoft.
I don't think Bezos.
I was just wrong.
Bezos probably didn't even understand what he had when he first started either.
Jobs did the same thing with IBM, and and now here comes along Amazon, and we sit back and go, man, they'll never think it'd be Amazon. Amazon owns everything. There's the next one's coming. Whatever it is, the next one's coming.
Oh, Microsoft just spent $10 billion on this technology, and I haven't heard anything about Amazon spending anything.
So what?
Lag, the last one. Grumpy, are you going to bid on more Amazon storage?
Bid on Amazon storage.
You can buy storage now.
Let's talk about this for a minute. I've said this over the years. You can go back through these videos. Scott, I'm sure, will back me up with this. Amazon wants out of retail sales. They are going logistics. The money for them is in logistics, moving, storing, delivering product. That is where they're headed. You can buy storage right now. If you don't understand what you're doing in your business, you can pay more to store more. Amazon wants a trickled in inventory. I have no reason to bid on storage because I use about 30% of what they allot me. At Christmas time, I got up to about 60% of what they allot me because I ship in on a regular basis what is needed on the shelf. It's like ordering a year's supply if you own a mom and pop store of peanut butter and putting it in the storeroom. You killed your storage space.
That's the other thing. AI is a perfect thing for, improving just-in-time inventory. With the problems with the supply chains and everything now, that's the part people see. People want to say, "Oh, folks." If you look around the world right now, I was listening to a Rogan podcast from I forget the guy's name he was, I guess 6 weeks ago he was on, and he was talking about the problems China's having. There's problems if you don't understand and really get a global view of what's going on. China's in trouble. China's in 10 years. China's not going to be China.
China's going to be India.
China, you got a problem with China. China is the largest importer of food, largest importer of energy, and they have an aging population. They have a population issue. They have more that are 40 or above than any other country in the world, and they haven't repopulated to support their population because the China One policy. And how many little baby girls did they throw out with the trash because it was they wanted a little boy and that was it. Well, contrary to what they tell you, and you can be what you want to be, science and life still requires a male and a female. Not identify as a female, none of that craziness. It's a male and a female, and so they have a problem with an imbalance of age and sex. Look at Russia. Russia's number one provider of fertilizer. Without this fertilizer, do some research on the land that China, some of the worst land in the world for growing food. That's a terrible combination when your land is terrible for growing food without fertilizer that you're not getting from Russia, and you have a billion people. Yeah, people look at the U.S. and go, well, the U.S., the largest exporter of food, and a large exporter of energy. The U.S. is not an issue. Pay attention to what Russia's got a lot of issues. I mean, the world as you know it is going to change. And
Absolutely.
That's why right now the supply problems I've just exaggerated. There's lots of things going to come back here. Trump has proven that, love him or hate him, it doesn't matter to me. He's proven one thing: we can manufacture our own goods again. That stuff will come back here.
There is issues with manufacturing in the United States right now. I work very close with a manufacturer. We're building a 20,000 square foot warehouse. We're growing. We understand the challenges. There are challenges to American manufacturing. What I see for the future of manufacturing in this country is robotic,
right.
Robotic type manufacturing more than manual labor manufacturing like they do in China. You're going to have more machines.
So here's the problem too with the labor force with China. So China, we think about China as being, technology and stuff coming from that side of the world. The education system in America has been decimated by the craziness that is the woke liberal. China's whole education system is based on memory. So they you're memorizing. You're not teaching someone how to solve a problem. You're teaching them how to memorize the answers to a question. Their labor force has become much more expensive over the last 20 years. A product in China, John will tell you, it's gotten way more expensive. So India's labor force is much cheaper. Where did I just tell you Tim Jordan went?
Mexico.
Mexico's labor force is cheaper and about twice as educated as China.
There's problems with Mexico and India because the labor force is cheap. You have a quality control issue. Once they tackle the quality control issue, China will be in real trouble. Right now, China can produce cheap goods with a consistent quality. It may not be the quality you want or expect, but it's a consistent quality. Mexico and India don't have that right now, especially in material type goods where it's a woven fabric or something like that. India and Mexico have a very rough time with that area right now.
So I just want you guys to, and ladies and gentlemen, I just want you guys to think about, an overall big picture of how the world affects. So when I started talking about last year, and I think this year is going to still be dominant, I started telling you that as the supply chains got screwed up, it's going to be harder to get goods. Used goods we're going to be very popular. I sell a lot of used stuff. I've sold more used stuff on Amazon. I bet I sold 30% used last year. I'm expecting to sell at least that much this year. Amazon, eBay, parts. Learn how can you take advantage? I sold a blender pitcher yesterday. I took an offer of $60 shipped on a freaking Ninja blender pitcher.
Is this that same blender we've been talking about for a while?
It was the one from the last show. I sold it yesterday.
I've been selling game board parts, and they sell.
I'm telling you, stuff is. Until everything gets straightened out, stuff is going to be crazy. How does it affect you? How do you look at all this and go, how does it, as a seller, supply chains, the world's all screwed up. There's still goods people want. Maybe you're that person that John is talking about who is very good at sales. The one thing I can tell you about an automobile is as much as they want you to just order a Tesla online, there's so much to the in-person salesperson that's going to be around for quite a while. That's not going away. No, as much as Ford wants to take it back from their dealerships because they're mad because they were overcharging. Remember, inventory is stabilizing out. That stuff is going to go away. the prices are going to come back to normal because the market's going to change, going to adjust the prices, and that'll be an afterthought with Ford again. Ford's PR people go, well, we don't like our dealership selling you that over. Maybe we'll do it ourselves. You'd have to change the laws in 50 states. You're not going to do that. But it sounds good for to put it in the PR. The PR, that was a PR answer.
But you have to understand something with this AI. We're talking about AI today, right?
Yep.
What about all the changes going on Amazon today? Wait. I'm not done. eBay's got changes coming.
They're both. We're within 6 weeks of getting platform changes for both of them.
And no, there's changes on Amazon that took effect today that we were told about 2 months ago. All these things are going on. In this world right now, there's so much data and information out there. You need to pick a lane of where you want your life to go. Do you want to be involved in this AI? Then you need to focus on AI. I'm focused on selling on Amazon right now, so I know what's going on Amazon. Do I think AI eventually will help? Yes, I already think it helps. Where I see the greatest use for AI is pull up the top 40 listings on golf balls on Amazon, because I want to get into the golf ball market. And I'll be able to do my research based on what they help me with. We're going to use AI to help us further what we're doing, not take over what we're doing. Processes and operations will change in the future, but it has to be in your part.
Later, I think at the end of the line, for a very long time yet, there has to be a human at the end of that. At least a proofread sales copy, or understand, how to implement stuff.
It's going to be
right now. There has to be a human at the beginning, because if you don't give it anything to write,
well, yeah, you have to have it. You have to have
sit there and look stupid.
What it's good for right now is writing. It writes really good sales copy. You have to look it over. It writes really good sales copy. I've done it. It will scrape keywords for you, which is a huge thing. And you can use it. You can put those two things together to write a better sales copy. So use these keywords to write me a better sales copy. It will do a good job. Better than I can do, for sure.
Martha A says they're coming against gas stoves and car. Until we stand up, the stupidity.
What is the idea behind going against gas stoves? I don't understand that.
It's all in the name of climate change. It's all in the name. You realize right now that they're over there in Davos. They're over there in Switzerland in some mountain. These folks didn't walk over there. They didn't drive over there. They flew in their private jets, which are the most polluting things on the planet. Understand that. A private jet, you look at, what's her name? I think we talked about it last week. The little singer, 400, I forget how many percent more she polluted with her little jet. And her answer to that was, well, I let other people borrow it. I mean,
it's the same jet. It's the same. It's more pollution the more you fly.
Until you take pollution seriously, the people that are telling you that climate change is this, climate, are also the ones that want you to spend on climate. For God's sakes, these idiots over at Davos are listening to Al Gore still.
Who?
He's still alive?
Al Gore is.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I said who because is he still relevant?
Al Gore was over there ranting and raving yesterday about the world, and this is stuff you got to pay attention to, how the banks need to control climate change by taking money away from the fossil fuel industry and anybody who deals in fossil fuels and related products, and make it more available to the green industry. You got to understand.
Jabus, yes, I still shop at those kind of stores.
You want to know about the nation in distress? We have we have so-called elected leaders that were placed in our government by what has happened over the last 2 years? They proved to you twice that they can put a brain dead person into major office you've got a dementia president, and you've got a senator from the state of Pennsylvania who can't say his own damn name.
Hello and good night.
They have proved to you that they can put in anybody they want to control it, and now they are over across the world telling you how they want the world to run because they want one world government. I will not turn this flag over probably in my lifetime until we defeat these idiots. How is it? How is it? Gas stoves. They're the state of New York, John, passed a law that you're not going to be able to buy a gas stove after I think it's 2030. Maybe I'm wrong about the date. It's very quickly coming up which is a problem because 60% of the houses are heated with gas right now. Natural gas is one of the cleanest things out there right now.
Yeah, but
the grandfathered in. Right?
Did you see what Minnesota did?
No.
They just passed a law that all sales of EVs must end by 2035.
Oh yeah. But it wasn't a legit law though.
So I think Wyoming's actually considering something like that. One of the western states out there that's not lost their minds.
They're not going to enforce that law at all. And the senator that proposed it is the one who said that.
California did that as a political stunt. They're not going to be able to end vehicle
sales. California. Okay, so I understand California because
I'll keep stretching it out. But
I listened to somebody who explained the California
virtue signaling.
The same guy who was talking about China, they asked him about California and EVs, and he explained it. California's legislature has a lot of power. So just because they outlawed they have the power to change the date. And so what they were looking to do with 2035 is to increase the focus on it and to make it more aware. In 2035, it's not going. We don't have the supply chain. Nope. We don't have the infrastructure in place to do electric. They can't provide the electricity to the state now. Do you think they're going to be able to power up all these cars? We're talking about 3% of the cars are electric. It's probably higher in California. But the legislature is just going to push the date out farther. They wanted to incentivize these manufacturers, and they wanted to bring this to the forefront and push an agenda is what they were doing. They have the legislature has done this in the past, and they'll just change the date.
I'm okay with electric cars, but I don't want to be forced into one.
I'm not okay with them. You watch these. I have a problem with the cheaper ones are $50,000-$60,000, and if I want to go on the road,
Tesla just dropped their price though.
So I'll wake up in the morning and decide, you know what? And I hadn't been to Conneaut, Ohio in several years. I'd like to see it in the winter. I'm going to get in the car and go. You're talking hours and hours of sitting around waiting for the stupid thing to charge up. The closer I get to Steve, the less effective the car is because of the temperature. The Toyota is going to drink unleaded gas all the way up there until I stop in like 11 hours.
Eventually, you'll be forced into it.
By the weekend, I'll be there in the electric car.
I don't know, Steve. I don't think EV's the answer.
Well, I don't know that it's the answer, but
okay. So there's an elephant in the room with EVs that not a lot of people talk about. The largest car manufacturer in the world started with hybrids, and they still make really good hybrids. But they've decided that hydrogen is probably the answer, and they are full stream ahead on hydrogen.
Shh.
Look at what Toyota.
I don't have enough stock yet. Shut up.
Look at what Toyota's doing.
Yeah, this little bitty channel ain't gonna get you any trouble, John.
No, it's
I'm buying up hydrogen stock.
Yeah, pay attention to Toyota, and the hydrogen cars. And
I'll be back. The boss is up.
I do think though that if they make the technology for charging better, then you'll be more likely to want to have an electric car. Right now, what's it? The fast charger, what's it? A half hour? Charge a car up.
Your experience is completely
depending on the car,
basis on who the manufacturer. So if you've got a Tesla and you get to one of their superchargers, it'll get you to 80% in 30 to 45 minutes. I mean,
I think.
But if
what will happen eventually, they'll standardize that technology, just like gasoline. It's standardized to how you put it in the car.
Any other car. So I was watching a guy who was testing. I think I told y'all this. He he's got 2 or 3 EVs, and he was testing the charging in the cold in Colorado. And
I saw that guy.
The big I forget the name of the channel. It starts with half of the chargers didn't work. They were all offline. There's nothing you can do.
It was what, minus 13 or some crap.
But he said even in the regular temperatures they wouldn't charge. There was something
wrong with the charger.
They would connect to the charger, but the charger times out or it does something.
But what it did show is that even at those extreme temperatures, it was actually charging. It didn't charge fast though. It took a long time for him to get it to charge. The one car wouldn't start.
There was a big story that went out. Did you see the one about the guy with the Rivian who went somewhere and decided to plug his Rivian in? It was like a Sunday to plug his Rivian into 110, and it said your car will be charged on Friday.
Well, if you're doing it wrong, yeah. But I think that technology is going to keep increasing, and it'll be a lot more accessible. And they are working on those salt batteries. I don't know that they charge any faster. I know they're heavier, and I don't know if the range is any different. But if they could make a battery that you could get from my house to your house on one charge, but you can't do that with gas. So
I know, but the problem with the charge, the gas is I can stop within 10 minutes. I can be on it.
Yeah, here's the thing, Scott.
I can fill up with gas. I can get a soda. I got to go to the bathroom anyway and be out.
I'm going to be all for electric cars because there's one that I want. It hasn't come out yet. You know which one it is.
Have you seen the one? It's in Europe. The bus. Have you seen the bus in Europe?
That's the one I want. I want the ID Buzz.
So yeah, bad. There's a guy over there who was driving one of those. They're in Europe right now.
Yeah, they're not here yet.
He was driving in England. I forget his channel, but his whole goal was. So he took two of the big battery packs that you see advertised all over the internet, the portable solar generators, and he ran that bus completely out to see how long it would take to bring it back to life. Man, he was on the side of the road for hours. So that thing, just because the sheer power it takes to power those things up.
I still think they'll get better, and I'm waiting for it. I want one of those someday. That's my goal in life now is to have, how you wanted the Cybertruck. Well, this is my Cybertruck.
So everybody from California, global warming, they like to tell you that California is so dry right now, and look at the Hoover Dam, the waters.
Well, California's a freaking desert.
Has the news told y'all lately that in the last 3 weeks that it's risen almost 20 feet level? And right now, the Colorado snowpack is at a 40% for the last since they've been recording the snowpack in the Colorado. It's at over the mean average. It's up 40% right now. And when I talked to Dave yesterday or day before, what was it doing? It was freaking raining again. The West Coast is the participation and stuff. They've got some of the reservoirs out there. I was watching some news information that at this current pace of the next 3 weeks, if they can continue to get this amount of precipitation, which is forecasted, they're going to have to open dams to relieve pressure on these because they've gotten so much.
The reason I have issues with climate change is because most of the people who are involved in that thing come from places like California where it's a freaking desert. What are they going to think? The moment that I drove into California and Nevada with you, that's the first thing that came to my mind. No wonder they believe that there's climate change. There's nothing here. It's desert.
There's a reason why the climate changes, because time moves on. Time changes.
Sure. We're having an exceptionally unseasonably warm weather right now here in Ohio. But next year, we might have 12 feet of snow. It just happens.
What are we going to be? We're in the 60s today. It's going to be beautiful.
I don't know what we're at today, but let's find out.
I think we're in like mid 60s today. Yeah, all Lake Mead got all the bodies they found. Yeah, we're going to be 66 today. This is awesome.
The sun may come out tomorrow. Who am I trying to? The sun may come out tomorrow. Who am I trying to kid? It's going to be cold either way.
I changed her to British. 38 degrees.
Listen, the thing about climate change is at my age, we were taught about frickin' ice ages.
I remember that back in school that we could go through another ice age. Yeah. And that was not that long ago.
Antarctica currently has more ice than it had 30 years ago. Come on, folks.
But anyway, we're getting into politicals now again.
That Mr. Al Gore, Al Gore said by the year 2020, we all be dead. You know,
the more you scare people, the more you make change.
How do you know it's a global? How do you know global warming is all BS? Because all the people who are trying to sell you on this keep buying multi-million-dollar houses at the beach. All the people that, you know, the Obamas didn't buy their house in Kansas.
Listen, you know why EV came out faster than hydrogen? The government subsidized EV.
We also had the technology already.
Because you have to charge your car with electricity that they buy from the coal mines that all the frickin' government owns stock in, both Democrats and Republicans.
Yep.
Okay? It's for their own good is why you drive an EV over a hydrogen ran car right now. Hydrogen is so far advanced over EV because of it produces one thing, water.
Yeah.
Water. It's plentiful. It does not have to be mined. It's found naturally. These are all things that would disrupt our current energy systems.
So here we are in the middle of January. So how's everyone's sales? Have your sales fallen off a cliff? Are your sales? I know John's sales are up big time.
My eBay sales are picking up.
My sales are up 36%.
And Al, by the way, I know that hydrogen has been around forever.
Oh,
the technology has not been around forever to make it into a car.
My sales are up by 36%. I hired AI to do all that.
So the one. So here's
it would be an interesting. It would be an interesting thing to see if you could do two similar products, one with AI and one without, and see what one does better.
Hustle man, I do believe the government off.
Anyway, I interrupted you, Scott. I'm sorry.
The effect. You want to know the effectiveness of electric cars? How many of you are aware that the first automobile was electric?
We've had that technology for a lot of time. No, it was all lead acid batteries at that time.
Yeah, I don't know. Are people aware of that? Lead acid batteries, the same battery that's in your car. They had that technology before the Civil War. Y'all understand that the lead acid battery is this. You could have fought in the Civil War, and then come in 2020 and go, y'all still using those?
Well, the thing is, the cold cranking amps and things like that on lead acid batteries beat everything else, and that's why we still use them to start the car. Even some of your EVs, I think, still have a lead acid battery to get the car going.
Yeah, they do.
So it's just the power that they pack in that small little thing. That now they're not good. They're not good long range though.
So a couple of people sales were up. So we had 3 people.
Here's the
on eBay. My sales are definitely getting better.
Whatever I list as sales, it's just a matter of us getting it listed.
What is it, Mark Silver Hair Stacker?
No, it's Todd.
Todd. He makes a good point. Because I got good stuff to sell, not because it's January.
Well, I think that is a good point.
Because he has good stuff. And you have to have the right items to sell. If you're going to be a fashion seller, I don't know what the hell to call it, where you're chasing the latest, greatest thing and you don't have a brand and you don't have a steady product and you don't have a following, you have to have the things that people are buying at this time. People ain't buying freaking antiques right now as an investment. They ain't got the freaking money. They're buying parts from a Ninja blender because they need to replace something that they need. It's about what they need right now. They don't need your junk antiques as an investment.
Evidently, some person in Maine needs 8 stretchy girdles, 3X. So,
Well, that's because her fat ass has got to wear a dress every day. I don't know what you want me to tell you. You may want to send her some diet pills with the girdles.
Oh boy!
why do I want to
Well,
send her? Why do I want to send her diet pill? I got 4 or 5 more cases of that damn thing.
Yeah, wait till she buys the rest of them.
Because
I can tell you, if she likes them, she will be a repeat buyer.
Because I can tell you one thing about being a large person. I've been one my entire life. She's gonna chase through them things and buy some more.
Listen, I'm down. I'm very proud of what I did. I am down 49 point some pounds. I'm almost at the 50 mark. But I've been big all my life too. It ain't easy to find clothes that fit right.
Carol. Unless something's happened to you in the last couple of years since I saw you last, nobody's going to refer to you as a fat girl.
By the way, Roman says he needs Chat GPT to send a message. I've done it. I've actually responded to customers using their scripts because it makes it sound. I put the input in. It's me, but it writes it in a way that sounds way more professional than I could ever come up.
And I 100% agree with that. If you give, it's like any good copywriter. If you give them the data that you want written about, they're a professional writer. Let them write it. It will come out 10 times better.
Yep. And I actually got a message back from the customer thanking me. Usually I don't. Usually I just say, I'm sorry. It was a product that I was out of stock on eBay. I don't know why. It was one of those eBay glitches where it relisted my thing. So instead of me worrying about it, I just said, I put in what I wanted to say and let ChatGPT do it for me. And it worked really well. It sounded very professional. And they thanked me for letting them know. That's the first time anybody's ever thanked me.
See, Harlan's got a friend that sells clothes at the flea market. You selling clothes at the flea market now?
Yeah. So Brent, so Brenda says there's terrible again listing and show up 5. So Brenda, I got a question for you. When's the last time you ended and relisted all your items? You know, that'd be the first thing I tell you to do. Are you promoting? When's the last time you ended and started your promotions again? Have you tried sales? You know,
oh hell, that sounds like a Dusty thing coming on.
I'm telling you,
where it came from.
It's
Dusty was his very own Chat GPT.
That was one smart man when it came to.
But all those things are still applicable today as they were when the last time I heard it from him a year and a half ago. It's you know, your listings, if they were good in October, November, and they're not good now, they've gone stale. And that's the easiest thing to do is to end them all and relist them. It's pretty simple process. Same thing with your promotions. That crazy dude ended and relisted never let an item get over 10 days old, and did promotions sometimes twice a day. I got tired of he'd sit there and mess with his phone. I'm like, what did you do? He goes, I'm in and listening, I'm doing promotions. I'm like, Lord have mercy. But Harlan is correct. You've got to understand what you're selling and change.
Alejandro does it every morning and every day before he leaves.
And not only do they didn't sell clothes or anything 5 years ago. We got friends at the flea market that sell a shit ton of clothes, not just a regular ton. And it is Nashville market. People, they don't want the generic. There's so many people out there that don't want to look like everyone else. And they don't go to yard sales, so they'll go to a flea market because there's easier to shop for a lot of stuff. Markets change. That's the other thing that changes. What's the one thing I can tell you about all these EVs and all, why do you talk about an EV and hydrogen and all this stuff? Because there's enough guys my age who love a damn 70s and 60s power cars that are going to buy parts for them and spend tons of money on them. And so all that's, I've got to list them today. There's a set of taillights over there for I think a Ford truck or something. I don't know what. I picked them up at the yard sale, $5. They're worth $125.
There's guys out there who change their brand new taillights out because they want something different, and you'll find them at yard sales for cheap. I've sold them myself. And radios and headlights. They want the halogens, and also or headlight bezels because they want a different look or something.
So she says every day and promoted.
Here's the problem.
I said it and forget it.
Don't.
Yeah.
It depends on what you're selling with the end and relist sell similar.
So for John, that wouldn't work because John's sold the same thing over and over, and he's got tons of inventory. But if you're a one-off seller and all your items are, it's 100%. In them all and relist them.
The reason I don't end mine and relist them is because you get traffic from Google. So be careful what you end and relist. If you sell multiples of something, if it's a one-off, you definitely end and relist is not a problem. If you sell the same items over and over again, you want to keep them as consistent as possible. What Google's looking for in that listing, and I'm going to put out a little tip here, is freshen up the listing, change the images, change the wording, update it a little bit, use a little AI on it to rewrite the wording. It will improve your ranking in Google for more sales.
But see how many people in the chat end and relist. Somebody says 10 days seems too soon. I'm just telling you what Dusty did. I would give it 30 days, but
I said it and forget it. My wife ends and relists every day. Depending if she gives it 30 days. So at the 30-day mark, she's relisting that. She ends it and relists it. For me, I just set it and forget it most of the time. And we're both sell about the same amount of stuff. So I don't know who's right and who's wrong on this. It worked for Dusty. I know it did. And it works for John. I know it does. His promotions anyway.
Yeah, so John ends and does promotions, but he doesn't end his listings.
Right.
He's had the same listings forever.
Now, maybe I should do that on the promotion side of things. I think that's probably more important there than ending and relisting the actual listing, but I don't know. I did start doing it. I think for about a month I did it every day, and I didn't see an improvement. Not the promotions, just the end and relist items, and I did not see a difference. But my mileage may vary from other people's.
So that's the difference. I just got paid the $59, so it's $56 plus tax to ship those $8 items. There were 7 of them. I had $3.50 into those. That
I had mop heads, Mr. Clean Eraser, Magic Eraser mop heads. I've had them for a long time. Somebody just bought 4 of them. I had them at $10 a piece, $40, and that's usually how those sorts of things go.
Now, here's something that you have to understand. eBay's getting smarter with their burnout frickin' technology from 1984.
They're slowly fixing it.
Their search is starting to be more like Amazon. It's pulling more of the data from inside the listing to rank you in search. So if you find that you have items that aren't selling, you may want to change up your keywords that are within for people that are actually looking for what they want.
Was that impressive? I could walk right over and put my hands on all 7 of them. Was that impressive?
That is impressive.
You put your hand on ladies' underwear? Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, Roman's right on some things, and it's only for the auto ungating. You know, if you were going to get ungated anyway, they want you now to go through a video and answer a few questions about the product or something. I haven't found it yet. A small questionnaire. I haven't found it yet, but I've heard of it from other sellers.
I wonder if he thought I didn't have any more of them. That's why he bought the last 7. Let's see how many.
It's going to a guy.
I'll look up the name in a minute. Let me relist these real quick.
Yeah,
not that there's anything wrong with that.
Oh, bullshit.
Hey, if a guy,
there's nothing wrong with that.
If a guy wants to spend $50-$60 on a pair of women's underwear, you can have them.
More power to
I'm not going to argue.
Looks like this is a duplicate listing.
I had to learn a long time ago that my conservative upbringing should not mix with my online selling because there's things I wouldn't sell. You know.
Guess what? my extreme right winger in me tells me not to sell some things.
Yeah.
When
You
I
sell them anyway?
When I sold flags, guess what I didn't sell? Gay frickin' pride.
I would. And that's
Yeah.
only because I'm looking at it as a whole different way than you are.
I make a political statement with everything I do.
I
Not
do
as
not.
much as the old guys slinging 2 frickin' 6-shooters in Walmart with his pearl handles.
Yeah, I'm just selling the I don't care who bought it. Listen, I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, because you can't tell, because it's like if you look at anything that comes to Amazon, it comes in Joni's name. I don't change the name. It just comes in her name. So just because it's to a guy or a man or a woman's name doesn't tell you anything.
Right, you're right. My wife buys things from Amazon on my account all the time. In fact, she only uses my account because my account has the Prime.
And for the record, it's a lady, and she's a repeat buyer. She has.
Yeah, that's a good thing. And I like now that eBay tells you right there in big red letters, you're a repeat buyer.
I've not seen that before. So let's. Does anybody care?
My wife gets it a lot because of what she sells.
I love that feature. You know why? I can go a week without seeing a thing that doesn't say repeat buyer. My customers come back over and over again, and that's what I've said over the years. Build yourself a business where people keep coming back and buying the same shit over and over again.
I love selling the one-offs, but I don't get a lot of repeat customers because I sell one-offs mostly.
Yeah, well.
But I do get repeat customers on some things. I sell a lot of postcards. I'll get repeat customers there. I don't sell as many as Mark, not even close. I only got a few hundred, not several thousand. But I'll get repeat customers there sometimes, and I'll get repeat customers on some of the things. Like I sell Johnson's baby powder, the stuff with still had the talc in it, I think. And I would get repeat buyers on that. So I'm out now, unfortunately.
I need that.
It's like I'm starting a reading glass company, just so you know. I
Again?
showed you guys over the years how to do it, and nobody's really taken off with it. One of the things I'm looking for at ASD is a reading glass supplier so that I can start a business for reading glasses, just to show you that after 3 or 4 years or 5 years, what kind of volume is in it.
If you have the right tools, you could sell just about anything. John, you have the right tools. You have the right knowledge too. I don't think I could make a reading glass company successful because I don't have the same kind of tools and knowledge. It isn't, no. And I've been through your course. Well, I was there when you were filming it, so I kind of know the procedures, and they're right. I mean, you can use it, but for me to do it is a whole different story than for somebody else.
Yeah, I'm going to ASD. I don't know if anybody else is.
I probably will not.
At this point, I'm not. Maybe someday in the future. Again, I enjoyed my time there, though.
Glock says, I thought Grumpy was retired. I'm retired from the day-to-day operations of the company. I still own it. So, of course, I'm going to be involved in what's going on.
Al says he'll be there, so maybe you can hook up with Al Bird.
I don't know who's Al.
Al Bird in the chat.
You can call him Al.
Speaking of that, check this out.
Now understand that most of the stuff I do at ASD now is networking.
Oh, you got some Paul Simon?
Yeah. But this isn't. I got this out of the Goodwill bins in Canton. It's a little discolored. You can see down here, but in here is a letter. Here it is, from a guy named. I don't think this makes it any more valuable, but the guy's name is Justin Wilkes. It turns out that, and this is on his official letterhead, and it's hand typed. Justin Wilkes is the guy who did the documentary for that set for the 25th anniversary Graceland collection. So he did a documentary at it, and this was a gift from him to somebody else. But I don't think it makes it worth anymore.
No, because I bought a book that was talking about the different types of whiskey, and it actually had a note in it because it was a gift to the head of Seagram's.
The funny thing is, you at first when I thought, oh, this is just something they put in everything, but there's actual, because his typewriter sucked. I don't know if you could see it. There's actual holes in the right for where the O's are. Oh, the O's made a hole right through the paper, and it's on Dempsey and Carroll stationery paper, and it's really thick stationery paper. Yeah, but I thought that was kind of neat. That said, if you find it new, it goes for well over 100. But used like that with some of the issues it has, it's complete and good. But I'd probably get $50 for that.
So I haven't read it in a couple of days. Is there any new news on Amazon that something terrible is coming?
I could tell you that, not news, but on Amazon, I got a nastygram from Spin Master this week. So they are still doing that stuff.
What was the item?
That Gabby's Playhouse that I had. I got them at a bin store, and they were selling for, when I first got them, they were selling for $26. I only had 7 or 8 of them. And when I sent them in, they were only going for $15 because it was after, the season. But they went up to 25. So anyway, I sold them all at 25. But they sent me a nastygram saying we only allow authorized sellers, and I was sold out by the time I ever got the email. So
there was some big news. It kind of created a little bit of upstir goes into effect on the 19th, which I don't understand how they ever going to enforce this, because they're updating their supply chain requirements, and one of them, the requirements that really mandatory remediation if cases of child labor identified. They must provide workers with clear, understandable documentation of their employment terms and conditions. How's a 4-year-old supposed to understand that when they're over there making shit in China? It really focused on human rights and child labor. How does anything from China sold that you got anything to do with almost any kind of lithium battery? Some kid dug that shit out of a mine. I'm being serious. I'm not being facetious. I'm being absolutely serious. How do they go about? Is it selective enforcement like they're going to do with everything else? How do you prove that the manufacturer, because it doesn't have to be the whole thing. I mean, it could be part of it, part of a product. Do you know why when I tried FBA for the first time, it says it's below the minimum weight of like 19? What do you mean when you tried FBA? I don't understand
I'm not sure what that means. Maybe it's the weight that you entered and they expect it to be higher. I don't know.
But that's, I did read a couple articles about that, about the, why are they pushing the supply chain?
Europe. It has to do with the lawsuit that happened in Europe.
That's the one thing I'll say about Amazon is they are very proactive for the platform. As they see things coming, they protect themselves pretty quick. What's up, Steve? You coming or what?
There's a couple things coming around the corner with Amazon. One of them is the storage limitations and being able to buy more storage. Is there reasons for it? Yes. There are. It has to do with bringing containers in from China, and If you buy the storage, it's very cheap, and there's fees associated with moving it around. I know I made a big deal about it earlier, but you got things coming with PPC. You got a lot of changes coming in the next 3 months with Amazon that if you sell on Amazon for an income, you need to be paying attention to. They will affect you. API score, the API, the IPI, the inventory health thing is not going to go away. It's going to be more important and relevant as time goes forward. The lower your score, the less storage you're going to get, and you're going to have to pay a premium to get it.
See, Dreamy Buys, that was my whole concern right there is Amazon Basics. You know, how is Amazon Basics ensuring they can apply their own standards? You know, there are a lot of people out there that would tell you that they have inhumane working conditions in their warehouses. Look at the turnover of Amazon in their warehouses. You know, I know they're trying to get the robots and all that stuff, but you go work an 8-hour shift in or a 12-hour shift in an Amazon warehouse where the heating and air is not sufficient, and they're tracking how long it takes you to go to the bathroom, all that crazy shit, and then tell me that those are humane working conditions. You know,
I'm gonna piss everybody off with this one. It's the worker's own fault that they're monitored for bathroom and all that stuff. It's because people cheated the frickin' system to begin with, hiding out in bathrooms to avoid work, that they now have to monitor that shit.
People like me when I had a job. For real.
You know,
I was a bad employee. I got my work done, though. I might have hid out in the bathroom and snuck out the back door to smoke cigarettes all day, but I got my work done.
But with Amazon, the number of employees they got, one bad apple ruins a whole freaking lot of stuff for a whole bunch of people doing the right thing.
God almighty. Damn spam calls all day.
They don't need porta potties. They just need to provide you with a catheter when you get to work and a little bag to strap on your leg.
It ain't that bad. Listen, you wanted a warehouse job, that's what you got. You want a better job, figure out how to get one.
No, that'd be personal responsibility.
Yeah, my boss one day asked me how to increase my output, and I told him put a coffee pot and a toilet right at my workstation, and we'll be fine. I really did. I actually told. Well, I wasn't allowed to smoke in the building.
You know
that too.
But
he never asked that kind of question again either.
How would that affect everybody around you, though?
I don't care.
On the bathroom.
I don't give a shit. Well, it would have a door.
Okay. Listen, what is this next generation going to... My accountant and I were talking last night, and he is my brother-in-law, so we were talking about my nephew sitting locked in his freaking bedroom at 12 years old playing video games, called his dad on the phone and asked him to bring him a sandwich. You can't... What's going to happen with this next generation when this generation dies off? Seriously, my grandkids are screwed. They're handed everything and expected nothing of them.
There's still some good ones out there, though.
Not enough. Not enough to keep this country the way it was. It'll never get back to where it was with the mentality that we have right now.
And see, I stopped short telling you what America is facing the same kind of workforce too issues, because the baby boomers had us, and Generation X is a smaller generation to begin with, and now the one behind us, our reproduction rate has gone way down, and so the population of this country is going to decline.
Here's the difference between us and China. when we face a problem in business with I'm going to use the manufacturer I deal with on a regular basis. I deal with two manufacturers. One, the problem with scale at this point right now has to do with it's not a common machine that he needs. But with one of my manufacturers, during the pandemic, when employees were going, oh, I can't come in and work because of the pandemic, and I get more with my free money. One of the things the smart owners were doing, we're looking at how to automate and cut the job force.
Yep.
How do you take 100 employees, cut it by 30%, kill off 30 jobs, and produce more? This is what we were looking at. How do we revamp our factories? How do we revamp our workspace? How do we streamline these jobs so that we don't need it? So that we don't need the labor. I cut labor while I was growing. I continue to cut labor while I'm growing.
Is there anybody who lives in the Dallas area, Dallas-Fort Worth area? Anybody in the chat? Or if you're not in the chat, you're listening to this afterwards and you've made it this far, we appreciate it. Hit the if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth, there is a test McDonald's in Fort Worth, completely automated, no employees.
By the way, speaking of McDonald's, today and today only, if you use the app, you can get a free 6-piece nuggets. Just saying. Which
is not good for your health or your frickin' waistline.
I have no concern there.
Yeah,
that's not my waistline. I'm not going to get any.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'd be very interesting about someone's personal experience with a fast food restaurant that has no employees. Very.
They have 2 employees.
They have to have something. Somebody's got to open the store. Well, no, you could have automatic unlocked doors, I suppose.
They have a manager and they have a general manager and a shift manager. Somebody that has to listen.
So it does have employees in the kitchen. So it shows an automated food ordering and a cashless payment system with employees cooking in the kitchen, cooking orders.
It's
half the size of a regular McDonald's location and has no area for indoor dining.
If you are from the West Coast area and know of Human Bean, they will eventually take down Starbucks. You know why? They take up probably 25 square feet of real estate. Overhead and one person, and it has a lot of computerized coffee in there with just as good a quality as Starbucks freaking burnt bean. I'm not a Starbucks fan, but Starbucks has become more of a destination than a product.
Well, that is true.
And it's ripe to be knocked on its ass.
And this, I just have a note for you. You should have implemented the no free rides policy before you had all them kids. Just saying. You're my joke of the day. That's a good one.
So, all right, I got to get out of here. I'm on a time schedule. I have to be at Walmart before 9:00.
Why is that? Senior discount or something?
No, I freaking have a pickup order.
All right, have at.
Look, and I'm going to tell you why Lori does pickup orders and not allow me in the store.
Oh, I'm sure there's a lot of reasons.
She hates when I get this thing out in Walmart.
So, do you like the folding, the flip phone?
I like it as a man. And this will make sense to you. It's small, like a wallet.
And fits in your pocket much easier than
I can put it in my pocket and sit comfortably. without taking it out and setting it somewhere and forgetting it where I set it down. And you do it. Think about how many times you set your phone down next to you and then you go in the kitchen and you go in your office, you go outside, you forgot it, and you got to go back and get it. So that part of it I like. I'm still worried about the screen.
And that's it.
I thought he was going to have Starlink up.
Off.
What the hell?
I don't have the internet. The roads got closed to the RV. I got to go right through that snow in Arizona where they got dumped on 30 some inches.
How far is your RV from you?
Huh?
How far is the RV from you?
3 hours.
Oh, quite a ways then.
I have it set up in Sedona.
Oh, I thought because last I knew you had it like parked down the street or something.
Yeah, no, I moved it to Sedona and set it up like a summer home.
Good idea.
So, all right, boys and girls, I'm out of here. Remember, AI is not taking over in 2023. There is money to be made with it in 2023, but it is not taking over.
Not yet.
It's not going to happen in my business lifetime.
You're
all
retired,
right, guys.
So.
Peace out. Oh, and don't forget, hello and good night.
Okay. We're looking for, this shouldn't take very long. Here, I'll put it in the chat. Since he's leaving us early, we'll take replacement for John.
Oh God. And you're leaving it up to the chat?
Yeah. Well, we live in interesting times as computers and tech. Things change at the speed at which things change is just absolutely amazing.
I think John's right on. It's not going to take over in 2023. However, I think the timeline's pretty quick. Not take over everything. There's always got to be people behind things. But
my whole point of doing this show and really talking about it a lot is I think we're at the precipice of what it's about. We're being shown what is coming.
Find a way to make it work for you that you can sell to somebody else, and you're going to make some money. And again, if there's anybody in the chat who knows how to develop a website, please get a hold of me. I got an idea.
I mean, because you're at the beginning of
with an API call.
I think it's a lot of the same times as like 93, 94 when we started hearing about what the internet was, and as it. For those of you who lived in the 80s, there was no internet.
I don't think, automation as it's set up now for places like Walmart and all those other places is not operating on the AI that is coming. It's the old version, the dumb AI. You know what I mean?
Damn.
The smart AI is coming.
You got 36 eggs? Holy crap. You're rich.
I wouldn't be telling people. Jeez.
And I'd call them and tell them to come pick up the ground turkey, because what the hell are you going to do with that?
I like ground turkey.
Ugh.
We've replaced all hamburger with ground turkey in this house, and I like it. I didn't think, and the reason is not because I like ground turkey over hamburger or healthy reasons. It's because it's a lot cheaper. That's why. I remember back when I was poor, very poor, living in a one-room apartment with just me and my son, and I had to come up with meal ideas. So we ate spaghetti and goulash almost every night because noodles and ground beef were cheap. Now they're not. The noodles might be cheap still, but ground beef is not.
Oh, heck. We have
and I treat them every Friday. Treat them every Friday to McDonald's.
Good morning.
Good morning. You put that link in there on your 119 people, and you put a StreamYard link in? No way. I can't believe you did that.
Yeah, we do it all the time.
Yeah, I don't care. It's
because he's got an eject button if we need it.
Yeah.
There you go.
And also have a preview. I'm the only one that can see it, so I look down there, and if I don't see closed, they definitely won't come on.
But yeah, good call.
I've seen it backfire on people in the past, though. In the reselling world, there was a video. Who was it? I can't remember. He had a guy come on, and that guy just went off the wall. It was bad a couple of years ago.
But a lot of this technology we see now, you look at it in reselling. You look at, I think it really started with, auctions with eBay, and then we started running auctions on YouTube. A lot of people still do that. And imagine that you show up with a whatnot, and these platforms go, whatnot's a good idea. And now eBay and Poshmark are both working on their same ones. They might have them out by now. Ideas, you got to figure out how they work for you. You got to figure because I can tell you, I can promise you one thing: things are going to change. It's 2024 is not going to be the same as 2023, and it's not the same as last year. And if you want to hang out and want to continue to do this, you got to figure out. I tell you, YouTube's the same way. Videos come out in 2023 in January. They're all over of how the algorithm has changed and what you need to do to start a channel in 2023. You can go back in 2022. These same channels told you what to do in 2020. It's things change, and if you continue to do the same thing over and over, unfortunately, you're going to get less results as you go forward. I believe.
Yeah, you can't stay in the same place as what you were in the 1990s. You have to conform and change.
So, do you sell on Amazon at all?
I sell a little bit on Amazon. I've kind of backed away from it because I know it's like the number one selling place, but my stuff, I can sell them better on eBay. I get more money normally on eBay for what I sell.
Because you have an opportunity to make some money on your trip.
On my trip, really?
Yes.
Pick up more seashells, huh?
No. So there is a huge market for Starbucks mugs, and they sell at a premium. And you're going to a location that is very hard to get to, and people who want a collection of 50 mugs or 50 states. How many of them go to Hawaii?
I may have to pick some up. I'd have to mail them back to myself because I'm not having any checked luggage.
I got a friend. I don't know if he's still in the chat. He went to Alaska and bought so many in Alaska that he paid for a good chunk of his Alaska trip on Starbucks mugs.
Dang. What do you do? Go to every single Starbucks?
No, he found a bunch of them at a grocery store. Some of the grocery store had Starbucks mugs. So he called around. They're in very short supply right now because of production issue. He called around so they found the store that had them and went and bought them all.
Todd said they had FedEx in Hawaii. Okay, yeah. Huh. I'll have to look into that. I'll definitely. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I've never had an issue with IP claims with Starbucks. The problem with them is the bad listings. They were going after bad listings. They're not the been their mugs and the main listings selling on those. There's been no issues with that.
Take some eggs with you.
I'm allowed to sell them.
Take some eggs with you to Hawaii. They're like $20 a carton down there.
That's true, or more. Or
more now. I don't know. My wife has a friend that lives there, and it's been that way because it's harder for them to get things. But gallon of milk might be $15. Take that kind of stuff down there.
It's very expensive. My son lives there, and that's who I'm going to visit. And he said that food there is very expensive.
Todd says hit the thrift stores up and buy all the Hawaiian shirts.
That is a good idea.
That is a good idea. I'll be there for
the real Hawaiian shirts. Yes,
that would be some interesting videos. Is thrifting there? That the difference, if it's any difference than it is in the states, in the mainland states.
Well, yesterday I think it was on my morning show. They were saying go to thrift stores, and I'm like, is there thrift stores in Hawaii? I've never been to Hawaii,
sure.
So I have no idea. But
I'm
yeah,
sure there's got to be a Goodwill there.
Probably.
Yeah, because
I guarantee there's a couple Dollar Generals, even though they're not thrift stores.
Oh my God.
That's where to go to get the ship spam there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
it's like,
my son.
It's like a delicacy there.
when he first got there, when he first got stationed in Hawaii, he's like, Mom, I went to McDonald's this morning and I got their spam scramble. And I'm like, what?
Oh man, I got to go to Hawaii just for that. That
Oh,
sounds
oh,
wonderful.
oh, you're something wrong with you.
So Martha,
No.
what island are you visiting?
I don't know. I'm flying into, I have no idea. I don't know.
You're probably flying right into Honolulu.
HNL, is that Honolulu?
Yeah.
So that's where I'm flying into.
So yeah, when you were talking about the memorial, the USS Arizona is the one it's the one you see with the white it's the one that Magnum went to a lot, and Magnum PI. It's the one it's in the water above the ship. And so when you're out there looking down at the ship, it still leaks oil and stuff. You can see it's the main Pearl Harbor monument.
So, and it's now they allow people to go on it.
You go to the monument. It's anchored on top of the ship. So when you look down, wow. It's sitting above the USS Arizona. That's one of the big that went down.
My grandfather was supposed to be on that ship, and he was transferred like a week before. It's crazy, you know. If he hadn't been, well, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah, you wouldn't be here. Yeah, that's one place that I definitely want to go. I haven't told my son yet, but I definitely want to go to the memorial. And I don't know. I want to go to the beach, but I don't want to go in water.
It's the one that everybody recognizes as the memorial from. That's the National Pearl Harbor Memorial, as it sits above the ship.
It's above the ship, so is it like a glass bottom where you can actually look down and see the ship?
I don't know.
I'll have to do a live from there if they let me do that. I don't know if they will or not, but
yeah, but that's the side view of it. That's
interesting. Cindy said it's bittersweet.
So Gary said that's a very moving memorial. Yeah, that's the one. When we went to DC a couple of years in a row with Jacob, when he was in high school, the National Cemetery was it is. I think Jacob and I, in 2 years up there, I think we went 8 times. Every time Joni would go take a nap, we'd be on the train heading that way.
You can look over the rails
and see the ship. There you go.
Walkways out from the building to look down. Okay. That would have been cool if they would have made at least one of the rooms glass bottom. Like maybe not walk on it, but like have something that you can see.
You ever see those videos of the glass cracking when people walk across?
Oh my gosh, yes, that's
hilarious.
So I saw the craziest one. It's one of the buildings in Chicago that you hold on to, and the thing folds out, so you're looking straight down.
Not gonna happen.
I looked at that and I'm like, it was giving me the creeps, and I'm just watching it on a video. I'm like, who the hell signs up for that? And they're screaming and carrying on. Because, the video I saw had 2 black women, and they were so funny, screaming and carrying on, trying to get off of it, and they were leaned over looking down.
I'm sure
I would want to do it, but I'm afraid of heights. There's no way I could do that. No.
That I went to Vegas. When I was in Vegas, I saw that building with the thing on it. What do you call that? The swings? Ain't happening.
Oh yeah, that's the
not gonna happen.
The Strat.
Yeah, ain't gonna happen.
I did that once, way back when I was young. They put me in. It was at a fair. It was like, I don't know, 200 feet up. They put you in this harness thing, and they have this cable attached to you. They pulled me up, and then I had to undo it. I had to click the thing myself. That was the hardest thing I've ever done because that was so scary. And then you free fall, and then I had like energy running through my body. It was like euphoric afterwards. It was so euphoric. It was best feeling ever.
One of my favorite TikTok channels, I forget the guy's name, but he's an operator of one of those that they shoot you up in the air, one of those launch machines. And he'll be messing with him. He'll be looking at him, and they'll be talking about, "Are you going to count us down? Are you going to do this?" Because there's 2 people sitting in those chairs, and he'll go, "No, wait a minute. I think your seatbelt's loose. I think, and he'll hit the button, and he'll go, got him.
That's
And they'll be-
bad.
No.
And they'll be sitting there
No.
looking to see that their seatbelts are loose, and he hits the launch on them. Yeah,
That would give me a heart attack, though.
Yeah, that would give me a heart attack. I'd be like, no.
yeah, Carol.
That would have gave me a heart attack when I was 12. I don't like that sort of thing. I don't like surprises.
And you see all these people on those slingshots at the top, and they're passing out at the top, and oh my god.
When I was younger, we have Cedar Point, not that far, so it's a big amusement park, and they had the demon drop there, which is the one that just drops. That's it. I wouldn't even go on it then. I still won't, not to this day. Nope. I don't like sudden anything.
I used to like that kind of stuff when I would go to theme parks or fairs or something, but I don't know. The older I get, I can't do it anymore. It makes me nauseous being on that kind of stuff, and I get so afraid.
So how long are you staying in Hawaii? A week?
A week, yeah.
Yeah, that's one. I've still got 8 states to chop off, and that's one of the 8.
I will be ready to go by the time the week is over, and my son will be ready to take me to the airport, I'm sure. I'm excited. I'm excited to see him.
I would be excited just to go to Hawaii
Does
myself.
does he live out there?
Yeah. He's in the Navy. He's stationed out there. Probably shouldn't have said that on here, but I did.
It's okay. Nobody's listening.
Yeah.
Exactly. Nobody knows.
Nobody listens this far into the show, especially on the recorded side.
Scott has such a tiny channel, so it'll be okay.
All right. Well, I mean, he's in the service. It's not like they're going to mess with him. He's surrounded by a bunch of people that carry weapons. So yeah, good luck.
That's true. That's true.
And they're trained,
you can trust us.
and they're trained to use them. So good luck. It's not like me and all my friends right here. You know.
That's a great idea, Roman.
You have a YouTube channel, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, she does a live show.
Can somebody put a link in? Somebody who has administrating, so people can go.
She does a live show at 6:30. What, Monday through Friday?
Well, 7:30 Eastern. Don't make it sound that bad.
No,
6:30 for you.
Yeah, for me, 6:30 Central. I actually was up early this morning. I'm like, man, why y'all are up early and happy? What the hell?
What, 6:30 a.m.?
Yeah.
Well,
no.
It's
for
7:30. 7:30 your time. So.
No.
7:30 my time.
Just kidding. I just don't get up early.
But I won't be doing it next week because that'll be like 2:30 in the morning in Hawaii. There's no way.
Thanks, Pat.
No way.
Pat got you for the
Thank you, Pat.
YouTube link there.
I like the way they allowed us to make our channels where they don't look like a bunch of scribble letters anymore. They let you use your channel name or let you use whatever name you, as long as it's not taken for your address.
Thing. Yeah. Roman said, when you get to Hawaii, do Hawaiian shirts giveaway. What is it with the Hawaiian shirts? I don't get it. Why do people like them so much?
I used to wear them all the time.
I used to as well.
Really?
I have a picture of me in high school with, I wanted to be a truck driver. So this guy had a truck, one of those flat ones.
It's not too late, Steve.
It's me. Yeah, I know, right? It's me in front of this truck with a cowboy hat on, with the Richard Petty style, with all the feathers, and then a Hawaiian shirt. My style was not. That was my high school style.
Maybe
no wonder I got picked on in high school.
Maybe I should go back to wearing Hawaiian shirts.
Cowboy boots, and now it's all black and gray. I don't.
Get me one with coconuts on it.
Well, there's certain brands of Hawaiian shirts that do really well on different reselling platforms. So, I couldn't tell you what they are right now. I used to, when I was doing clothing, I sold a lot of Hawaiian shirts.
That was years ago. One thing I like about all the traveling I've done is very interesting when you go to different areas of the country, what's available to sell there, and then a lot of what the costs are, because living in the South is generally thrift stores are relatively reasonable. But the more like you go to the Northeast or out West and you go, holy, is this a thrift store and the price would just be dumb.
Yeah. I've seen some of the videos when they go in and they tell you what the price tags. Oh my God. You can go to a store and get it for that. At least here.
We go to the Goodwill bins down there in Akron, and the store that's attached to that Goodwill, oh my God, the prices are so high in there. But yet right next door is the bins, the Goodwill bins where, because it didn't sell in that store, they're giving it to you for free, basically $1.29 a pound for just about everything in there.
I'll have to look it up and see if there's a bins in Hawaii. That would be kind of cool.
I would doubt it.
Really? You think
outlet? So? They might have an Amazon type store, or Amazon type bin store.
Like they could have but Amazon stores aren't the same as bin stores. They're just not.
Well, they are, but they're not. That's new stuff.
Have you noticed how I
prefer the Goodwill bins.
The Amazon stores, how frequently they show up and how frequently they go out of business?
It's because they're not run correctly, some of them. The ones that are run correctly stay around.
It's because it's amazing, because I know of 2 or 3 here in Huntsville alone that start out and are no longer with us.
You got to be very careful at those kind of stores, though. And I'm sure anybody who does a lot of shopping there will tell you a lot of counterfeits, a lot of customer returns that were not legit, like ink that was used and put back in the original box, that kind of thing. It's happened to me a few times. And car parts that have been used and put back in the original box and returned for a free car part, basically. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff. But once you get past that, you can make a good amount of money at the bins. Those kind of bins.
Yeah, so I took an offer yesterday, but I was about to take the offer. And then I get a message. I'm like, and if you've sold on eBay long enough and you get offers, one of the things you hate the most is to immediately get a message. You go, oh crap, they're going to say something. They're going to ask more and more questions before they made the offer. And he just wanted to know how I tested it. I'm like, yeah, I tested it. It throws up. So this is a good bowler, by the way. Let me grab it. So if you've got, I went to the local pet thrift store.
The hell is that thing?
It's called an iFetch. So the dog throws the ball, or the cat, whoever throws the ball in there, and when it hits the ball hits the little thing going through, and see the little motors that kick it out, it throws the ball. So it allows the dog to keep putting the ball in there and chasing it without you having to grab the slimy ball. And so I told him, yeah, I tested it. You hit the little button here and it kicks the motors on, and all 3 levels work. So it works great. And then he sent another message back. I'm like, well, damn, I'm going to take the offer, buddy. And he says, are you the person I watch on YouTube? I'm like, yeah, I am the person. There is an imposter on eBay, but you got the right one. And he said, then he sent a screenshot here. He said, because this is the person I watch it, and it's me from a video packing up something. I'm like, yeah, that's me.
That's funny.
Oh, you had a viewer sale.
So
nice.
So, okay. So this little guy here. So what do you think offer I took for iFetch is evidently a big name.
Let's say $40.
I was going to say 50.
I took an offer of 50 plus shipping.
Nice.
I always lose.
Thrift store, and the thrift store it was $6.99.
They could be giving away 5 tickets for 4 prizes, and I'd be the 5th. It's just the way it works.
Me and my husband always say we're not lucky other than lucky in love. That's the only thing we're lucky in, is because we found each other. But that's it. That's the only thing.
Don't hand me that, Harlan. I sent a message out saying it's Tuesday wing day, suckers. Are everybody in? Let's eat Mexican.
Day late and $1
short. Don't talk about throwing wings when you had us eat Mexican last night. No, we're not. We had one of our first dachshund was obsessed with a ball, and my mom had one at the same time, and so we have purposely the remaining 6 didn't get balls. So that would drive you nuts. It will absolutely drive you crazy. The 11 years we had him, he chased the ball like every day. It was so bad that if you wanted to take it away from him and quit playing, you couldn't put it on top of the refrigerator. You couldn't hide in the house because he could smell it. You'd have to take it outside and put it in the garage to make him stop. Yes.
There is a bin store in Honolulu. A friend of mine sent me a text.
Goodwill or Amazon?
Goodwill bin store.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
At least go visit it and do a show.
Thank you. I will visit that.
Anytime picker, Roman, do you not pay attention? Wings went up last year. There was a big wing shortage last year. Wings damn near doubled in price.
I don't understand the egg thing because I looked up eggs here.
Okay, so there's a couple of things with eggs. So evidently this was a bad year for avian flu, and a lot of birds had to be destroyed that were egg-laying birds. And someone was trying to tell me that they use a lot of eggs and stuff in research for the.
Oh, really?
But
they're not as expensive here as they are for other people.
Ours are like $4, maybe $5 a thing right now, but they were 49 cents last year.
That's
49
true.
cents a dozen.
They're like $3.89 a dozen here, but I mean that's still expensive. But they're not like a new car.
Yeah, we got them at Costco last week, and 2 dozen was $7.19 or something like that. Which before they were like $3, $2 or $3. It wasn't very. They went up so fast. They went from. I think that's the part that shocked everybody is they were because we have. So Walmart. I don't know if y'all's are like ours, but the worst off of Walmart is so if it's in a bad area, it will have much cheaper prices on like eggs and milk. So
yeah,
one of our stores had eggs for like 59 cents a dozen, and all that went away. They tripled.
Well, Brenda said 4 of the largest suppliers are saying there's no excuse.
We started changing our shopping habits because things like that went up in price,
We don't eat a lot of eggs, but still, I didn't understand. I mean, there's so many memes and so many jokes out there about them, and
yeah, I'm doing keto right now, so I eat eggs every day because I'm on keto.
Oh yeah, I could see that
for breakfast.
I just think it's the speed at what everything happened, and so that makes it into a funny meme. That's all.
That's true.
Because like I said, we got them for 49 cents a dozen last year, and then now they're $5 or something. I'd have to.
Yeah, so Harlan's saying wings did come back. So we had 50-cent wing day at the restaurant, and then it went. They took it completely away and raised the wing prices by about 40%. And then it came back, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago at 75 cents each now. So
Roman.
AI chickens.
So I don't know if I'd want to eat those eggs.
Oh, they already have, what do they call them? It's the fake egg.
Yeah, I'm out. It's like ground turkey. I'm out.
I like ground turkey. Sure. You can fake everything if you really look.
What is it like?
It comes in a milk carton. I can't remember what it's called. Egg beaters. That's it. Egg beaters.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Okay. I thought that was just like egg whites, though.
I don't know. It's egg something, but it's fake. I'm not the brightest person, Victoria.
We tolerate Steve.
They needed somebody that they could beat up on the show.
It's better than me talking to myself. So there you go.
That's about the only thing I was useful for.
Wow, $2.19. That's actually a pretty good egg price right now.
Yeah, it was years ago, and I'm like, I'm taking applications for a co-host.
I'm the only one who responded. That's the reason I got it.
He's the only one who responded. I'm like, so what's your talent? He goes, I'm the village idiot. I'm like, all right, win.
I was on a podcast. How long was I on that other podcast? 8 years, I think we were. And that was my role for real. I played the village idiot on that show.
Wow.
It was great. We didn't have any viewers though.
But it's, really as the start of a new year, everybody thinks about change and that kind of stuff. So I implore you guys to understand, to keep up and understand with the conditions and stuff around you. we're about to shut this one down, but it's truly gonna, things change, you know. Just how close are we to getting the spring update for eBay? You know, it usually comes out mid-February, so you're less than a month away from the eBay update. It's either, I just want to know what eBay, can we all, if I accept an offer, can you charge them? I'm tired of waiting. You know, you promised us
that'll be on there.
You promised it this time last year that by the summer everybody's going to do that. Yeah, you lied.
Are you surprised?
No, I'm actually not surprised. It's amazing the things that they need to be careful about what they say. I don't think they made and here lately they've made promises that they haven't been able to keep. So it's been kind of disappointing. After the update, we'll have another mass exit. That's the only bad thing about the $600 delaying that at least another year. I was looking forward to hearing everybody quitting this month. When they got their 1099s next week, all these people were going to quit. It was going to be awesome. And now there's no gnashing of teeth. People will just go on. Now we either have to wait for an update or we have to wait till they have to pay their taxes and then they quit.
I actually stopped taking offers. I don't even have that as an option anymore. I will make offers. Like if people like my stuff, I will send them an offer, but I don't allow them to make me and I don't do counter offers. I was just getting so aggravated with people sending me $1 offer or, 10% of what you're asking. I hate that.
I ignore those, but just because it's another opportunity to sell stuff that I have little money in, I generally will I'll take offers on most things, but I don't send offers out because that means that I have to be doing something.
Go Dog Go just said something. I'm tired of having to pay 10% promotion. How much do you guys promote at? Because I was promoting at the 2.1%. And somebody told me to try the 10%. So I'm going to try that next month. I'm going to try the 10% on everything. But how much do you guys normally promote at?
I usually do one over whatever the average is.
Really?
I do not.
Steve,
I do because everybody, they make you promote it 2. So I do 3 just to give myself a tiny little edge. And I sell a lot of promoted stuff. So I don't know if it's working or they just happen. I don't know.
I was looking at my numbers and 7 out of 10 items were sold promoted for me, for my stuff. So, yeah,
I would guess that mine's probably in that similar range.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see what mine is.
I've been on the idea that if you promote, you're at least above most people because eBay wants to take all my money, people, that kind
right.
of. So even I don't do the 2% because if you're going to promote at the lowest possible level, so is everybody else. That kind of thing is my mindset. So I do 3.
Either their reporting is down or because it says managed promotions and it shows 0 promotion sales. I'm like, when I make my listings, I promote everything. So
they've got to be down.
I promote even the smallest things. I promote it all.
So I sold 18 items. They were $41, but they were worth $725 in sales. So it's still worth it. I mean, I told everybody when this first came out that it was just it was pay to play, and they were doing it because they could collect more money. They saw Amazon pay per click, and they're like, "We're missing out. What can we do to get the advertising money that Amazon's getting for pay per click?" And that was their answer: was promoted listings.
Beth made a good point. More offers creates more activity in your store. True.
Yeah, I can't remember last time I ended a reset. I need to do that at some point.
I haven't done that since, probably a year at least.
Wow. Lag. You used to do 30%. So what did you do? Increase your price by 30% to cover it, or at least 15% to cover half of it? That's a lot. If you go below 20%, the sale's slow.
Lag, is this you lying again?
I got the whole chat knowing that I promoted 3%, so they're going to 4.
Oh, darn it. You got to up it now.
I let everybody know about what my Amazon store was. Now I don't sell on Amazon anymore because everybody steals my ideas.
Lag says, yes, you can trust me. Hmm.
Yeah. Sometimes Lag had good comments, and then other times Lag just screws around with the chat. So you have to be careful with Lag.
I have no idea which is the truth and which is just him screwing around.
That's the problem.
Tamra, that's a good idea. I think you said that on my chat the other day. I do trending, but cap it at 15%. I need to go in and see how to cap it because she was telling us on my chat the other day that she caps it. So I need to figure out how to cap it. And it automatically does it, I guess, for her.
So I typically do trending, maybe a little above trending, but you have to be careful on the items because, if this would have been a trending 10%, I listed it at $63, then you're talking $6, $7, $8 an item. If you've got an item, it's a couple $100 and it's in a category. I've had it, show up at like trending 10%. I'm like, I'm not paying you idiots $20 to promote this. Right. So even the percentage you need to pay attention to the items that are in the category if you're going to do it by category or by, because you could have an item that's too expensive.
Yeah, she said it doesn't always sell at a higher rate. Yep. Did you see what Martha said? 107 people going to 4%.
See what you did, Steve? All your competition, you just upped your own percentage.
Yeah, well, if they were selling the same things that I'm selling, then I would be concerned. But
that's true, Tamara. It doesn't always sell at the highest rate, but do you trust eBay and their antiquated systems not to sell it at a higher rate than it should have? Not so much.
That's a good idea, Go Dog Go, but I do free shipping on everything, so that wouldn't work for me.
I was a free shipping model for up until this year or until late last year, but now I don't do calculated on most things, but I do like a flat rate.
Yeah,
so most of my first class now is $4 shipping, even though sometimes it might be $6, sometimes it might be $3 something. But
I've gone back and forth with shipping, and I don't know if it's just because I like I like to do free shipping because then I don't have to. I kind of estimate in my mind what it'll be. But when I did paid shipping, I got less sales. Of course, I wasn't promoting like I am now.
I'm not finding a difference in the amount of sales that I'm getting either way, but it makes me feel better, or I think it makes the customer feel better to see that lower price at the beginning and then the shipping instead of the whole price. Oh. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I'm not sure either.
But I've gone to a paid shipping model for most things now. Now, I will look at the item and see what everybody else is doing. And if everybody else is free shipping, I'll do free shipping.
Right.
If everybody else is selling it with shipping, I'll sell it with shipping.
A lot of the things that I sell, a lot of them are free shipping, which is interesting. Not everything is free shipping, but a lot of what I sell is free shipping.
I started it with the Olympic pins that I have. I sell them for anywhere from $4 to $6 a piece. And if I'm selling for $4 to $6 a piece with no shipping, that's where everybody else is at. So I put $4 shipping on them, and they still sell really, really well. But now you can buy one and get or 10 and still get $4 shipping. So I made it so that they don't have to pay extra.
Yeah.
See, ours is if it's over 2 pounds, we'll add shipping to it.
Anything over a pound now, well, like VCR DVD combos, those all get calculated.
Yep.
I got ship heavier today. Anything heavier gets calculated. A lot of times, though, if it's between 1 and 2 pounds, I'll do a flat rate at like $9.99. I usually can send that just about anywhere. But
yeah, when I did shipping, I didn't do calculated because it's like I'm in Florida, so if they're in California, they're paying way up for shipping. So I always did flat rate.
And then my things just go to the East Coast in that case, so it's not a big deal for me. They still sell.
Okay, so here's a good tip. I stole it from somebody. Right now, there's a good size box. I ordered 100 of them. Remember, regional went away. There's no regional A and B's anymore. But you can still use the regional A and regional B boxes. You just have to pay it's a regular box. but there's a regional A box that's 10 by 7 by 5 that I use a ton of, and
I
so
just used it the other day.
and so, but I don't use it as much because it was regional. But I use other boxes for that same size, so that
eBay still has the regional rate on their thing.
But it doesn't matter. The post office is not gonna. You're gonna get some angry post person who's gonna.
I may have accidentally shipped one because it was still there and I forgot.
When did it? I thought it had a date when it stopped.
Yeah, it was. It's this. I believe it ends this week.
Oh, so you can still ship that way. You just got it after this week.
I'll tell you in just a second.
I did confirm with the post office local here, and they were usually pretty good.
Bama Dad said January 22nd.
Okay. I had one item that was the cheapest way to ship, so I did it.
Well, and he has Bama in his name, so he's got to be pretty smart. So January, that is confirmed. January 22nd is the date.
Okay.
So
you're good for a few more days.
Hey, Bama Dad, we did good last night. Winning. That was a tough game. For those of you who don't know, the craziest stuff happened. Alabama basketball player, 10 hours after playing a game, I think he was on the bench because he's injured Saturday, ends up being arrested for capital murder. And the one of the guys he was with had his gun and ended up shooting his girlfriend.
Wow.
It's the craziest. Into a car that she was a passenger of. The young lady was 23 years old with a 5-year-old son. I mean, it's just an awful situation. So, even though the rest of the team didn't have anything to do with it, you can imagine the emotional damage that it took on that team. It's just, the coach said that no problems before the game, but several of the players, broke down emotionally after the game. It's just insane that happens.
That's really sad.
Take your old school rules. I'm in my 50s. Nothing good happens after midnight. Take your ass home. You get hit by drunk drivers. All the stupidity happens after midnight. Take your ass home.
So to clarify, did the basketball player is the one who actually committed the murder, or
no?
Somebody took his gun and committed the murder.
It was his gun. His girlfriend, the guy who was with him, ended up shooting her.
Oh, so it was the basketball player's gun.
But they've not released any information about where he got the gun or anything. Alabama went constitutional carry as of January 1st. So it's harder to find out where stuff comes from.
Oh gosh.
But it was his gun, it was his girlfriend, and who knows what caused that craziness.
What a horrible situation.
All the way around. I mean, a young man's life, he threw it away. A young lady's life taken away. A 5-year-old boy who is not going to have a mother now. I mean, it's just there's not a good situation on any of it. It's just awful all the way around.
It's horrible.
Yes, Harlan, you have to go home at midnight.
It's just getting started. Well, I interrupted you, and I'm sorry about that. You were telling us you were giving us a tip about your box.
So you can order those boxes and use them as regular boxes now. So get the boxes. 1075 is a great box for shipping stuff. And so just because it says regional rate on it, all you have to do is pay the standard priority, and
after the 22nd, of course.
Yeah, so and also, so that box also qualifies for, if you're using pirate ship, it qualifies for cubic shipping. And nice. So it might end up being cheaper to use that regional box on cubic shipping that it wouldn't have qualified for before. So I ordered 50 or 75 of them. You can order them 25, but they're gonna
still selling them.
No, they're on the website, on USPS.com.
I'm gonna go look
until they run out. But yeah, the regional rate box.
I did confirm with my local, and I've got those people in there reading the rules finally, that they will honor it as not as a regional box, but as a regular rate box now.
Brenda, that's correct. His friend shot her. But it was about the player's gun, and it was the player's girlfriend.
I bet you he was trying to set her up or set him up. And I bet you that's what was going on. His gun, his girlfriend.
North Fort Worth. It happened in Texas?
No, it happened on the strip down on where all the bars are at the University of Alabama.
We must be talking about something else.
Yeah, it happened in Tuscaloosa.
Okay.
Now Mark's talking about somebody. His girlfriend's mom got robbed at gunpoint last week and their car stolen in North Fort Worth. That's
something different. Oh my golly, that's horrible too.
I'm telling y'all, you live in the United States of America. It was still ruled. Currently, it's still ruled by the Constitution. They're trying to get rid of that sucker as fast as they can. You are allowed to, if it's legal and you're allowed to carry it, which I tell you is legal anyway, but the Supreme Court said you could carry them. I'm telling you, I don't go anywhere when I go. I ate tacos with Harlan and Tracy last night. Don't worry, I had your back if something happened. I even had the extended clip last night. That was good. But it's the boxes though. So get any of those size boxes that you need to order, because they make great boxes for. You can use those on Amazon as well. They're considered new clean boxes. There's no issue with Amazon's requires you to use a clean box, new clean box, and so if you're using priority shipping, it's still considered a new clean box.
No reuse junk on Amazon, I tell you.
No.
So lately, Gary, I've been carrying the Taurus 3GC or G3C. Sorry. Every now and then I get a wild hair and carry the 19X just because it's 19 plus 1 and I've got the extra clips to go with it. If I really feel like shooting 50 shots, if I think I'm going to a bad area.
They do still have, I just was able to order 4 sets of 25 of those.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a big yellow warning. This is going to be shipped at weight based, but you can still order them. I'm going to see if they got the regional Bs too.
Damn, Rob. Oh my gosh. I ordered something from eBay and I got it in a stupid cereal box.
Couldn't
believe it.
A local eBay seller once asked me, what is the minimum shipping requirements for eBay?
I got one of the clips out here, Gary. There you go. A magazine. That's an easy one to tell because it's the color.
I got both styles of that regional A because I like the little square ones too. Those are perfect for a lot of things. I'm going to see what they got. If they still have the DV.
What did you tell your friend? Too. That the minimum.
I said, the minimum requirements is not a cereal box. You have to put it in a good sturdy box or regular box. And it wasn't my friend. It was, well, I could tell you after we.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. I was like, I almost gave them a bad review, and then I'm like, nope, I'm not going to.
No, I don't think it's worth it because they're not going to change anything.
No.
It's very rare. I'll get stuff that if the item got there. I mean, I'm just thankful that I got the item, but I have found karma is a bitch, and as soon as I start messing and leaving people negative stuff, it comes around, and so. And so I generally, even if I'm mad enough to leave a negative review, I won't. It's got to be really, really bad for me. Even the guy who sent me a 50-pound tape machine with ceiling tiles and bed sheets as packing material, he didn't even get a negative.
Oh, my postal lady's going to love me with 400 boxes coming.
I sure hope that they wash those bed sheets before they send them. Gloves, man. You need gloves for that package.
Well, there shouldn't be that mentality. What is the minimum shipping requirement?
Right.
It should be, how do I get this there safely? They had something not break in transport, but they had somebody leave a negative feedback because they shipped it. I don't know how they shipped it, but let's say like stereo box style. Well, you deserve that negative feedback if you're shipping. There's people out there with food allergies. If you're putting it in a food box,
oh yeah,
even though it's in a plastic bag inside, some of cereal comes out of that bag. I've seen it 100 times. It's
Yeah,
just
the
stupid.
powder. Ooh.
Yeah.
I take a lot of pride in shipping and making sure it gets there in one piece. I use all new boxes. I run a paper tape machine that it looks like it comes from so it really bothers me when I get just.
It doesn't bother me. First of all, I don't usually order. I usually order from, I don't order used things on eBay a whole lot. It's usually new stuff, and it usually comes well. But this is how Chinese pack, by the way. They tape the entire box. So they make sure it gets there.
I get made fun of for as much tape as I use. I've tried to be better, but I want to make sure that box gets there and it doesn't open, I use a lot of tape.
I have seen people get bad reviews for using too much tape because it's harder to get into the box.
Well,
y'all see Harlan giving out some of his dating secrets. He carries a black light with him.
I'll tell you.
Like, I gotta go, where's the bathroom? Can I go use the bathroom? And then he'll be in there black lighting the sheets to see what kind of chance it's got.
I tell you though, I ordered something from Amazon and it was shipped by Amazon. And you know what I got it in? It was a shirt. I got it in a plastic poly bag. They slapped the mailing label right on it. I could not believe it.
Like a clear plastic one?
Amazon that sent that.
Clear plastic.
Clear plastic. You can see exactly. I mean, it was just a shirt. It wasn't, something bad.
Amazon tends to use the cheapest thing possible. And there are products that you can send into Amazon and they'll just slap a label right on the box. Like, because that's the cheapest way for them to send it, unless you instruct differently. So I think you can instruct them, I think, to ship it in a box.
Gary, I'm gonna explain this to you. Even somebody who lives in Georgia can understand. It's a priority box. You just pay priority shipping. There you go. There's no such thing as regional rate. You just pay priority shipping.
After the 22nd of this month.
After the 22nd, yep.
It'll just go by weight, just like any other priority mail.
And if I confuse you again, just text me, Gary. We'll explain it.
Even I understood it.
Oh my gosh.
Brenda. Black like the girl.
So you asked a question. You're like, how have you done this for so long? I took 3 months off and I missed interaction. The chat, the chat on my show is just, they're so much fun that you never know what somebody's about to type. All right. Unless anybody's got any more questions, I'm going to eat breakfast. It's after 10 o'clock. I can eat breakfast now.
I'm on no such schedule.
It's almost lunchtime for me.
Yeah, it's 11:30 here.
So I'm doing keto and intermittent fasting, so I don't eat before 10 or after 6.
Oh my gosh!
You'd be amazed once you start it. It's first couple days, but after that, like I'm just eating now. I finally decided that I'm probably just gonna make a burrito this morning on a low carb tortilla. But yeah.
That sounds good. I haven't had anything to eat yet. I'm actually hungry.
And then by the time you eat at 6, it's only 3 or 4 hours for you to go to bed anyway. Okay, 5 hours because I stayed up to 11 last night. But
I'd have to go to bed at 6 if I couldn't eat after 6 because I graze at night.
I ate a whole bag of chips and a thing of dip last night at 10 o'clock.
Oh my gosh! And you were able to sleep well?
Oh, I never sleep well.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Maybe that's why.
It could be.
I never considered that. Thanks for alerting me to that possibility. Maybe I'll have to change my habits. I have a snack every night.
All right,
everyone, usually.
Have a great week. If you want to continue this, we'll be on again tomorrow night taking questions mainly on eBay, just because there's so many people that can't get the show in the daytime. So I've been doing a nighttime show too. So
as soon as I figure it out, I'll get AI to sign off for me. But until then, Sweetwater out.
All right, roll tide. Make sure you check out Victoria. She's on every morning.
Bye, guys.